All right, let's jump right in. We're looking at a guide that makes a pretty bold claim that the way we've all been thinking about AI video is about to get a complete overhaul. Seriously, what worked last year? Forget about it. It's obsolete.
And it kicks off with this pretty provocative statement right here. The whole idea is that the era of simple text to video, just typing in a pretty scene, yeah, that's officially over.
So this is the core idea it's setting up right from the start. Think of it like a battle between the old way and the new way. The old way was all about describing what you wanted to see. But the new way? It's all about directing exactly how it's filmed. A huge difference.
Okay, so you're probably wondering, why the big change right now? Well, it's because the latest AI models have finally cracked the code on the one thing that held everything back before. That frustrating problem of inconsistency.
The guide says that these new tools can understand and actually execute a detailed technical spec sheet. We're talking syncing audio to the action, understanding a story, keeping a character looking the same from shot to shot. And what that means is your old, kind of vague prompts, they're not just outdated anymore, they just don't work.
All right, so how do we adapt? The first step, according to this, is a total mindset shift. You have to stop treating the AI like some fun little toy and start seeing it for what it is, a professional-grade digital film camera that's waiting for your command.
And yeah, they put it pretty bluntly here. The game has changed. It's not about being an artist describing a scene anymore. It's about being a technical director, a director of photography who's actually calling the shots.
So to make that happen, the guide lays out this really consistent, predictable structure. It's a 5-part formula, and it's designed specifically to force you to think like a filmmaker. You have to consider every piece of the shot, and you have to do it in the right order.
Okay, so let's dive in and break this formula down piece by piece. We'll see exactly how it's supposed to get you those professional-level results.
First up, and this is apparently the single most important part, cinematography. The guide is super clear on this. If you don't specify camera movement, a dolly, a crane shot, and composition, the AI is just going to give you the most boring, static, locked-off shot you can imagine. It's a total waste of its power.
Okay, next, you've got your subject and their action. And the key here is being precise. Don't just say a man is walking. No, you want to be way more descriptive and more emotional. Something like, a man is rubbing his temples in exhaustion. See the difference? That's what the AI can work with.
Then, once you have that, you set the scene with context. Where are they? What time of day is it? And this is really important. Notice the order. It's only after all that technical stuff that you add the final layer of style and ambience. That's the mood, the lighting, the aesthetic. That's the last step. And look at this example. It just brings it all together perfectly. It's a fantastic illustration of how this formula creates something really powerful. You've got the camera direction, the subject, the action, the context, the style, and even the sound, all wrapped up in one clear command. Nothing is left up to chance. So, once you've gotten the hang of creating that perfect single shot, the guide explains how the pros take it to the next level. We're talking advanced workflows to create whole, consistent scenes, and they do it all without ever leaving the prompt.
The first workflow tackles that age-old problem we all know, character inconsistency. Where the shirt color changes or the face glitches out. Well, by uploading reference images, they call them ingredients, you can literally lock in an actor's appearance, their clothes, even the location, across a bunch of different shots.
But here's the real game changer, the ultimate level of control: timestamp prompting. This is wild. You're basically directing a whole sequence of shots, like 4 or more different shots, different angles, different actions, all inside one single 8-second clip. It's like being an editor before you even hit generate.
And think about what that means for a second. What's really fascinating here is the implication. This one super technical prompt, it basically eliminates the need for post-production editing for a lot of sequences. It's your previs, your storyboard, and your final cut all rolled into one.
Okay, so let's zoom out. What does all of this actually mean for the future of creative work? Well, the source gives a pretty direct, and as it calls it, unsettling, take on what this new era of director AI looks like.
The argument here is that the main bottleneck in creating digital content is shifting. It's not about your ability to animate or edit or do VFX anymore. No, the bottleneck has moved. It's now the person writing the prompt, the director.
So here's the takeaway. The most valuable skills are becoming a mashup of a filmmaker, an audio engineer, and a technical script writer. It's less about painting a pretty picture with words and more about writing a detailed, technical blueprint that the machine can execute perfectly. And this table just lays it all out so clearly, doesn't it? It perfectly summarizes the whole shift. You go from ignoring camera and sound to specifically directing them. You go from throwing a bunch of keywords at the wall to using a structured 5-part formula. It's a whole new ballgame.
So the guide leaves us with a really clear call to action, a to-do list for anyone who wants to keep up. You need to build a reference library of characters, you got to go back and audit your old prompts for those cinematography specs, and maybe most importantly, you need to start writing scripts, not just, keyword salads.
And this data right here, it shows exactly where people are messing up. Look at that. Almost half, 45% of all bad prompts come from one single mistake, not specifying the cinematography. That's the #1 way people are leaving the AI's potential on the table.
Which brings us right back to this number, 8 seconds. It doesn't sound like a long time, does it? But this whole system, this entire way of thinking, is about squeezing every last drop of potential out of those 8 seconds. It's about turning a short little clip into what feels like 4 professionally cut shots. And so we're left with the final question from the source material. It's a really provocative one. It's not a technical question anymore. It's a challenge, really, to all of us. The machine is ready. The tools are here. The only question left is, are you ready to be the director?